Hello once again, witchy people. We are back for folios 7 and 8. So on my little folio, I have already covered the little booklet in the middle on both sides with the paper that I'm using as a background paper, which is plain navy. So, and I've done that first because I'm having something that's going to be stuck straight to page. So obviously, because I'm doing back and front, you're going to need 2 of everything. So you're going to need 2 at 2 3/4 by 8. 2 at 5 1/8 by 4 1/8. That's 2. And 2 at 5 5/8 by 4 1/8. Crikey, that's not very good, is it? It's supposed to be 4 1/8. So yeah, and on the 5 5/8 side, you score it at 5 1/8. 2 of those. If you hear any banging and crashing, it's because I just dropped the scoreboards. So the first thing I'm going to do is measure. Oh, this is in centimetres. Oh no, it is in inches. I'm going to measure in inches. Yeah, I've got 2 different types. So I know this is 8 1/4. So I want to cut this at 4 1/8. Get my hair out of the way. 4 1/8. That's where I need to split this little flap. Do it on both sides. 4 1/8. Okay, so that's where I'm splitting. Oh, I don't want to cut those. That's where I'm splitting my little flap here at 4 1/8. Back and front. I've got to realise what's the top and what's the bottom. So this is the front, that's at the top. I'm going to take the 5 5/8 and make crease the score line. That will be going here, like so, and it will be a pocket. Okay, so I need to mitre my edges. I'm doing this with both the back and the front. I'm going to mitre these while I'm at it. Now I'm going to start gluing everything down. So this bottom pocket, I'm going to glue. I will glue if I can get my glue out. I'm really sorry about the lighting, by the way. There's not much I can do about it because it's quite late at night. And the light in this room is awful. Too bright during the day and too dark at night. On this one, I'm going to fold the flap in. Put some glue on there. And a little bit of glue along the bottom. I'm going to place this to make a pocket. Make sure I've got the glue at the bottom. Going to place this to make a pocket right here. Okay, no, that's not it. The smaller piece, which is only 4 1/8 by 5 1/8, is going on top, but I'm only gluing it here. So all this then becomes is a small flap. Oh, too much glue. A small flap, and when I put something in this pocket, it'll keep this flap closed. So this flap's kind of like a surprise little flap. That's that bit. And the long piece that you have is going to go, let's get this out of the way, it's going to go on your booklet right at the very edge. So I didn't need to use a whole piece there, to be honest. I could have got away with just doing it to about here. No one would see. But this is going here as a pocket. So this is going 3 sides straight to the page. And I'm having my pocket facing inwards. It does restrict the amount of things you can put in the pocket, but it means that no matter what you do put in the pocket, it's not going to fall out. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press that down on all these corners, all these edges, so that I know I'm going to get a good stick. It kind of stretches that black paper over this one. I'm just going to take this one out separately. So that's all there is to this one, and I'm going to do this to the other side, and that will be folio 7. Apart from decoration and charms and such like finish. So I'll come back in a minute and show you this finish back and front. So just a flap and a pocket and a pocket, and that's all there is to it. Folio 6, flippity flap, pocket 6, it's not 6, it's 7, pocket, and the same for the back but opposite, flippity flap, pocket and a pocket. Finally, number 8. So on these I have, where's my scoreboard? 4 pieces, 2 for the front, 2 for the back. One is 5 5/8 by 4 1/4. One is 6 by 4. On the 6 by 4, score along the 6-inch edge at 1/2 inch and 5.5 inches. So you've got a 1/2 inch score line at each end. On the one that is shorter but deeper, so this one's 4 1/4 high by 5 5/8, you want to score this at 5 1/8. Okay, so on the one that's 5 and this one's 4 1/4 by 5 3/8, you score at 5 1/8. On the slightly longer piece, which is 6x4, you score at 5.5 and half. And you need one set for the front and one set for the back. You can ignore that crash. I am going to try and use this scoreboard. I have been using my Old Faithful, which is my Purple Cow scoreboard. Purple Cow's absolutely brilliant. So on both of these, I am just going to fold in all the score lines. And I'm going to make this very easy. So when you do this, God, that light is awful, isn't it? When you do this, please remember that you are doing opposites. So one of these I'm going to cut, it's my bedtime. One of them I'm going to cut this way, but my other one, which has got the two score lines, I'm going to cut this way. Okay, so for the front pocket, okay, so for the front, I am going to measure on the side with the one flap. The flap is going to be on my right, and this may look familiar. I am going to measure, there's my ruler, I think I'm going to measure from the bottom 2.5 inches from the top, so that'll be 1 3/4 down from the top. That's on the side with the flap, which is on your right. On the bit that's furthest away from me, I am going to mark at, let me think now, where do I want this? From the other edge, not this folded edge, but on the top, from the other side, I'm going to measure in 1.5. I'm now going to turn that round, and this bit here, I'm going to put in my, I'm going to basically, I'll show it to you without the, I don't need this. I don't need it. I'm going to line up my two lines. That's my 1.5 inch from that side. That's my 2.5 inches up from the bottom. Wobbly wobbly, I am going to join them up and cut that corner off. Okay, so I've got one this way with this flap here. On this one, I am going to measure in 1.5 inches from, same as I did on the top of this one, but on the opposite side. So this one measured, it was 1.5 inches, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm going to measure 1.5 inches in on the top from my right hand side. So 1.5 inches. And on the left hand side from the bottom, I am going to measure, now that one was 2.5, I'm going to measure two and 3/8. Yeah, 2 3/8. And then I'm going to join those up and cut them with, turn that around and cut them. So on so that's my pieces for my front, so that's just slightly different. You can see there's just a slight difference in height from the bottom. Okay, so on my back pieces, the one with 2 flaps, on, ruler's gone walkabout, on my right hand side I'm going to measure up 1, 2 and what was it? According to this it's 2 and can't even see. 2 1/8 did I say? 2 1/8. Oops, drawing on my mat. So that's 2 1/8. And along the top, from my right on the top, I'm going to measure in 1.5 inches. Then I'm going to join those up. Okay, so this is for my one on the back. Also on the back, for the one on the back, I'm going to take this one. So I will have my flap on the left this time. On the left, I'm going to measure up, was it 2.5? No, slightly less actually. So I think I said 2.5, but I've gone slightly under on that one. So on this side where my fold is, I'm going to measure up 2.5. If my ruler will stay still. What did I do with my pen? There it is, 2.5, which is going to be about there. And from my right hand side with no flap, I'm going to measure across 1 inch. Was it 1 or 1.5? It's 1.5, wasn't it? 1.5 inches. Yep. And join up those with a cut mark. Okay, I know it all seems convoluted. So these ones are for the back of the book, the folio. These ones are for the front. So I'm going to measure up from the bottom up to where this ends, making sure this is my front. This is my front. I don't need this top bit. So I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to cut it off, mitering it up to there, and then I'm going to, sorry, I mitered it there, and I'm going to cut this bit off. But we know how bad I am at cutting things off. So miter the bottom of that. So we can ignore that top bit. We just want this bottom flap. Then we want this one. And we know that's going to fit nicely there. And on this side, I'm going to miter there and there. Now all I have to do is glue this in. So same as before, it's shaky glue. Glue on that tab, glue on that tab, and glue along the full length of the bottom where you haven't cut any corners off. And then attach it to the side, like so. So you will now have a nice corner cut pocket here. Now the reason we cut it slightly less on this side and we have two flaps is because this one's going here and I wanted it to sort of line up, the pockets to line up roughly in the same place. So I'm just going to move everything back. So this is just the front cover of the little notepad inside. Might I'm going to stick this down on here. It's going to be very difficult to do actually. Might be easier for me to put a piece of paper underneath it. She says, desperately looking for a white piece of paper. Oh my. This'll do. So that I can see the edge of the paper. Okay. So once again, glue on this tab, this tab, and straight along the bottom where there's no corners cut off. This then goes straight to the bottom of this one. I don't think I've taken it over. No, that's good. And there it is. So you've got a pocket here and a pocket here that kind of matches. And obviously I have to do the same to the back here and here. So I get the V again and cut off this bit. So I'm going to do the same to the back as I did to the front, and then I'll be back. So folio 7, folio 8. So folio 8 is just the double pockets here and here. So that's it. That's every folio done. As I said not that long ago, I'm having problems sourcing the card, the pattern paper that I originally had 2 packs of, because I'm doing 2 boxes of these folios. So I have the black paper I'm using. I have the navy blue paper I'm using. And I am also adding some inexpensive, quite lightweight 140 GSM, which is, now I know 160 GSM I think is £60, or is it 180 that's £80? But even so, it's under 140. It's under £40, I think. No. Oh, I don't know. Look it up on Google. It'll be fine. So I only paid £1 for these, and that was from The Works. Because Make and Create is a Works brand. And for kids, because it's from the kids section, which means it's cheaper. So that's 30 sheets there for £1. And I needed it thinner because I don't want to bulk out these pages. But I thought with the black, the blue and the white, because the papers I chose got a lot of white in. Just grab a bit here. That's going to save me an awful lot of light. Ooh, light. That's going to save me an awful lot of these papers, so I don't have to worry so much. And it'll be just hints of this paper here and there. I absolutely adore this. This is one of my favourite sheets. But the other side of it is these lovely, but then if I just cut these out, you'll get that as the backing, because I'm not going to back them or anything. So yeah, so that's what I've decided to do. What I will do is finish decorating these, and I'll be back to show you it all completed, each one completed. Well, apart from the outside box, they're both exactly the same anyway, so I'll show you one completed when I've done all the decoration. I don't know when that will be. It won't be too long, but as you know, I'm also doing a series on YouTube at the moment about whether the major Christian festivals all have their roots in paganism, or are they independent? I found out some really interesting things. So I'll be doing that. So in the meantime, whilst I'm researching, I will try and get these all done. So here's all my folios. So that's 1, 2, and I haven't done the front of anyone. 3, 4, 5, 5 and 6 are hefty. I have decorated some of it, so I've put a lot of these bits on. I've got a white piece of card on this side. This was just a leftover piece. I don't know what I'm doing with it. This one, the top pocket there, that's the top pocket, has got this strip of pattern paper. I don't think I've done anything else. No, it's just been the covers have been, oh, that's the belly band, and the belly band's been put on. I think that's probably why I did the covers. So yeah, I haven't done any decoration. The base of that was done because obviously I needed that to put the waterfall in. I don't think, no, oh no, because that's just the book. So yeah, nothing else has been done. So that's all 8 folios. I still have to do these. I've only done the 2, and I'm matching the dividers. Oh. So this divider goes with this one, and this divider goes with this one, and that's how it will be all the way through. So there we go. When it's all decorated and done, I'll come back. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this little series of me crafting. Crafting is cheaper than therapy. Well, sort of. So that's it. That's my box of folios. I am going to start thinking about how I'm going to decorate these. Pop them all in my nice big box. Way! I am making another box. It's slightly different to this because a friend of mine wanted to make a box, and so I said, well, I'll make one and we'll do it together. They're quite expensive to make, I think, when you add it all up. Anyway, that's it. I'm off. Thank you very much, and I'll be back very soon. Bye for now.